Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, April 29th, 2013. Of course, coming to you live from the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. My thoughts on tonight's Raw tonight? Well, we have no word on how severe Cena's injury is. For those who missed the attack, then of course, it was spread all over Raw that John Cena tore his Achilles tendon over the week at the during the WWE European tour, and as of right now, I think WWE's still planning on Cena wrestling in Extreme Rules. As of right now, they have no plans on stripping Cena. They haven't announced anything about the match being in jeopardy, but basically, I think Cena's going to basically wrestle injured, like he tried to tonight during our main event this evening, which got changed so many times. Like the script tonight changed so many times because of Cena's injury. So we'll see how that goes when Cena got into the main event this evening. It was an okay Raw. Besides that, some decent action, some okay action tonight on Raw. Crowd was okay. So we kicked things off with a match actually. Really odd match. We had the managers, or in one guy's case, bodyguard, for the three men involved in the triple threat match at Extreme Rules for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, we have Zeb Coulter representing Jack Swagger, Biggie Langston representing Dolph Ziggler, and of course, Ricardo Rodriguez representing the Motos del Rio. All three of these guys, Big E, Zeb, and Ricardo, would take on each other, and the winner of this match would get their respective representative the opportunity to name the stipulation for the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules. Now, it was kind of a comedy match. Basically, it was kind of like a beatdown match, as Ricardo basically got his ass beat for the first half of the matchup by Big E. Big E looked like he was going to dominate over both Zeb and mostly Ricardo. You basically squashed the hell out of Ricardo for a bit, and then as Big E was taking full control and really gonna get looking like he was gonna get an easy win, and getting Dolph Ziggler the opportunity to name the stipulation for his match at the pay-per-view, Ricardo had Big E miss a big move, hit on the ring post, and he basically actually tried to team up with Zeb Coulter to double team on Big E until Big E came back to life, beat the crap out of Ricardo, and even Zeb Coulter kind of did a double turn and beat the crap out of Ricardo with Big E. That was until Big E gazed his eyes on, well, Zeb Coulter. And as Zeb Coulter beat the crap out of Zeb, Ricardo nailed Big E with the bucket because there's no DQ. Being triple threat rules, triple threat means no disqualification. And despite being hit twice with the can, Big E still was on a roll, beating the crap out of Ricardo. But then even all three guys that these guys in the ring were representing, Alberto, Ziggler, and Schmagel are at ringside, AJ too, with Ziggler. They got involved. Alberto beat the crap out of Big E, and then Alberto got beat out of him by Ziggler, and then Swagger got involved. He tossed Ziggler off the top rope, and then Swagger got clotheslined off the top by Big E. Big E kind of clotheslined himself, leaving Zeb and Ricardo in the ring. Zeb was going to get an easy pin and a win on Ricardo, but then AJ distracted the referee as Ricardo was getting pinned by Zeb with a 1, 2, 2 and 3 quarters. That's when, like I said, AJ got involved. And then, after that, Ricardo picked up Coulter, got the wall up, in a 1, 2, 3 victory. That means Alberto Del Rio gets the opportunity to name the stipulation for the ladder match. Oops, I kind of spoiled the stipulation. The ladder match. Yes, that's the stipulation that Alberto named later on in the evening. Because like I said, since Ricardo won the match, Alberto got to pick the stipulation. It'll be a triple threat ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules. So we have a cage match and a ladder match set for Extreme Rules. And who knows what other matches we named. So there you go. It was kind of, like I said, a silly matchup. It was kind of exciting, okay way to kick off Raw, but McCardle getting a pin over Zeb Coulter. And storyline wise, he was wearing these zebra pants. These like empty hammer pants. Parachute pants. He looked weird in them, but anyway, it's kind of like revenge for McCardle in a way because McCardle got injured. He wasn't wearing an ankle brace today. His ankle injury was healed. Storyline ankle injury got healed, so he had to pin Coulter. Kind of end their storyline with that pin. So like I said, with that win, Ricardo helps Alberto name the stipulation for a ladder match, triple threat, Extreme Rules, May 19th, St. Louis. Speaking of Extreme Rules, of course, as of right now, John Cena, bad leg and all, is set to defend the WWE Championship against Ryback at Extreme Rules. And I'm surprised that Columbus, Ohio didn't boo his ass tonight. Well, during this segment, they didn't. Today was National Wish Day, and John Cena, whether you love Cena or you hate Cena's character with a passion like I do, you gotta respect the man for doing so much work and so much good things. I call him a good ambassador for WWE. Love him or not, he is a decent ambassador for WWE, a good role model. Despite the fact that he got divorced recently in a year. Anyway, but the kids love him, despite our hatred for the fact that the kids are the main audience now. Cena's does so much, especially these Wish kids, making them honorary superstars. It's kind of cute, kind of a cute moment. Like I said, love Cena or not, it was still a fun moment. Making these kids' wishes come true. Cena being a nice guy. Love him or hate his character, you gotta respect the person, John Cena. Now on with the next matchup. Randy Orton taking on Cody Rhodes. Now, I did not think they were going to mention it or not, but they did mention, of course, that these two were, of course, part of Legacy a few years ago. They fought one of them before. This was an okay match, actually. Cody looked really good in this matchup. Of course, Cody's been involved in this feud with him and Sandow in a silly feud against Tons of Funk. Clay and Tensai, hopefully that feud's over and done with. So, hopefully Cody and Sandow can either go for higher ranks, go for a title shot when Team Hell No's done with the Shield, or maybe be singles wrestlers again. But Cody nailed Randy Orton at least 2 times with the Beautiful Disaster kick, and Cody looked really good offensively. It was a decent matchup, despite being an Orton match, better than Orton against Sheamus 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Anyway, Cody Rhodes had some advantage, some good offense, but of course, the Viper, the Apex Predator, whatever nickname they're going to give Randy Orton this week, came back, and of course did all of his vintage moves. Of course, the DDT, of the middle rope, and of course, the dropkick. Basically, the 6 moves are due for Orton. He did try to RKO a few times, but after taking Cody's offense, Cody was going for another big move. He didn't connect crossroads as well as 2 Beautiful Disaster kicks. But that crossroads, Orton nailed Cody with RKO as he was ready to nail the Beautiful Disaster kick for a 3rd time. And after the RKO out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, Randy Orton gets the victory over Cody Rhodes. And okay match, it was kind of decent, For being an Orton match, it was kind of decent. So there you go. And of course, Matt Striker had a word with Orton about what happened at WrestleMania with him and Big Show, and he then RKO'd Cody again. He never felt so extreme. So I think there's going to be a match between Orton and Big Show at Extreme Rules. I say a chairs match between these two. Because they always have like stipulation match in Extreme Rules, like I mentioned, Ricardo, Alberto, Ziggler, Swagger in a ladder match. In a steel cage, Lesnar and Triple H. So it could be it'd be like a night of stipulation matches. So I think it would be a chairs match between Orton and Big Show. Because I don't think it'd be a tables match, let alone TLC. So I think chairs match, Big Show, Orton. That's what I predict is going to happen between these two. A match in Extreme Rules. Like I said, chairs match. Now the next matchup. Divas match. Naomi of the Funkadactyls taking on the Bella Twins. Well, that's what it was. Kind of like a handicap match with Trend Magic getting involved. Of course, Brie Bella. It's kind of a quick and like a miss, like blink and miss match. It was a quick match, typical Divas match. Like I said, Divas put a Trend Magic in the middle of the match, got the pin in the win. Bella Twins win. Let's move on. I remember the Divas are going to have their own TV show. Totally Divas on the E channel this summer. Wow. We don't want to watch Divas on Raw. Why would we want to watch Divas on their own reality show? Especially on the home of the biggest whores on television, the Kardashians. Why watch E for the red carpet show? Fuck those Kardashian bitches. So, I may watch Totally Diva just to watch it, but you know what? Hey, it's a Divas match. It's a Diva show. At least it's long. Is that sad that there's gonna be a Diva show that's 60 minutes? That's like 10 Divas matches. Because they're all 2 minutes long. Actually, 5 Divas matches. If you get a Divas match, 5 times 2, or 5 times, yeah, 6 Divas matches. 6 times 10 equals 60. Then you count commercials. So it's maybe like 5 matches. That's like the length of the Divas pay-per-view is the equivalent to 5 Divas matches if they're 2 minutes each. Or 6 matches if they're 2 minutes each. So they go, Bills win with the Trim Magic. Let's move on. With the Shield coming out. Talk about their Wrath of Destruction is lit. Especially taking out The Undertaker. Delivering a triple powerbomb Taker this past Friday. I think it'll be like I said last week on Raw after the Shield defeated Taker and Team Hell No, that I think with all these people getting injured now, especially the status of Cena being questionable for Extreme Rules now, that they may make Taker wrestle at the Extreme Rules, walks out, Punk's on break, so I may ask Taker to wrestle, and I think I predicted it last week that I think Shield could take on Team Hell No and Taker in a rematch at Extreme Rules, and that could possibly happen, especially during this segment, as Shield was talking about taking out the Immortal, the Undertaker, the Phenom, taking him out like that. Here comes VMB, who somewhat have unfinished business for some apparent reason with the Shield. As we all know, VMB did call out the Shield 2 weeks ago, but instead got Brock Lesnar, which led towards the challenge for the Steel Cage match, which is accepted for Extreme Rules, as we all know with Triple H. So VMB's like, hey, you stole our spotlight. We were ready to beat up on Triple H. We want payback. So basically that's what happened. VMB in the Shield got on into an impromptu brawl till Team Hell No came out and tried to beat up the Shield, but the Shield ran off. And then 3MB and Team Hell No got it on, which led to the change in our main event this evening. The original set main event for the night was John Cena to team up with his Extreme Rules opponent, Ryback, against the Shield tonight. After what happened with Team Hell No and the Shield, and of course with Cena's injury and all, then we wanted it to be Ryback and Team Hell No in the Shield in a 6-man tag, kind of a TLC rematch. But Ryback walked out. He didn't want to team up with Brian Kane again because he's here now, blah, 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 blah. And Cena said, despite my injury, I will team up with Team Hell No. So our main event for the evening would be John Cena and Team Hell No against the Shield. Like I mentioned, Cena was going to wrestle despite the injury. We'll see how he fails out. And see if Ryback would come back in the building and try to interfere or not. Now, like Cena's saying he's hurt, not injured. So, we'll see what happens now, especially after this main event. Cena. Now, on with our next match. Of course, like I said, at the beginning of the night, we had Zeb Coulter, Alberto Del Rio's guy, Ricardo, and also Biggie Langston involved in a triple threat. We would see all the representatives involved in action tonight. Starting with the World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler, taking on the Intercontinental Champion, Kofi Kingston, champion versus champion match. Now, this match is pretty good between these guys. These guys have had, matches against each other before, and Kofi looked really good tonight. It was very good high-paced match, especially in the last 5 minutes. Back and forth action. And despite every distraction possible, AJ and Biggie Langston got really involved in this matchup, which I knew they were going to get involved, especially one moment in the match I kind of fully predicted when Kofi did end up delivering the 12-man Paradise to Ziggy, or Zigglypuff. Zigglypuff, Zigglypuff. Pokemon reference, Jigglypuff song. Anyway, Kofi did nail the 12-man Paradise at one point on Dolph. It was too close to the rope, so AJ kind of helped Ziggler get his foot on the rope. And even with those distractions, Kofi did fight back. He did get some high-flying moves on Ziggler. He looked really good tonight, but I knew he was going to lose because I don't think Kofi will ever be world champion. He's mid-card for life, you know. I would not be surprised if Kofi leaves soon because he's probably sick and tired of, climbing the ladder, getting the IC title, tag title, once again getting the US championship, probably going to end up nowhere again, stuck in mid-card. And probably will never be world champion. They make a black world heavyweight champion like Mark Henry happen. Why can't they make Kofi Kingston? Probably just mid-card for life, like I said. Maybe we're going to TNA. I would not be surprised if he goes to TNA this year. With R-Truth. Well, wait a minute, R-Truth's been to TNA before, so maybe R-Truth may never want to go back to TNA, but Kofi may go to TNA, especially after what happened. Kofi, like I said, looked very good tonight. He got some great offense on Ziggler, and Ziggler did fight back at once. He did get some offensive in, but the killer after distractions and Kofi dealing high-flying moves and still getting a near fall, he did try to nail one big final flying move. He missed it. Like Ziggler rolled out of the way. And Ziggler, after rolling out of that attempt for a high-risk move by Kofi, nailed the zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Kofi loses to Dolph Ziggler. But Ziggler and Big E weren't exactly done. Big E kind of taking out his aggression for being tossed, literally thrown out of the triple threat match, being clotheslined by Swagger, or clotheslining Swagger, clotheslining himself at the same time. Did 2 big endings to Kofi in a post-match attack. So there you go. Ziggler wins, trying to get momentum, getting ready for this triple threat match. Like I said, now a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules, thanks to the stipulation named by Alberto Del Rio. Now on with our next scenario, on our next segment here, our next match, which would involve Jack Swagger taking on my man, Zack Ryder. Now, they mentioned, of course, Legacy and Armin own wrestled Cody. I'm surprised they didn't mention the fact that Swagger and Ryder had a feud at one point. Of course, Swagger pinned Ryder to be the U.S. champion, kind of starting Zack's demoralizing downward spiral. And Zack did have some good offense in, but of course, like I knew he was going to do. Zack was, of course, where he was every other week on Raw, on his back, getting squashed as usual. Well, after getting 3 Swagger bombs and even a gut-wrench power bomb after trying for a big move, he got the ankle lock, the Patriot Act, what you want to call it, and Swagger got the victory with Ryder tapping out. So Ryder got squashed as usual. Swagger wins. Let's move on. Of course, Swagger getting himself more momentum for the match as well. Now, our next segment, which involved Mark Henry coming out, and actually Mark Henry had a tug-of-war rope. So he said that he was going to challenge anybody to a tug-of-war contest to prove that he is indeed the strongest man in the world. So he would get 2 opponents by Vicky Guerrero. It ended up being Otis Clay and Tenzai. Thus, finding out why they didn't accompany Naomi and Campbell. Naomi and Campbell? Naomi Campbell. Naomi and Cameron. We didn't see Bortis and Tenzai accompany Naomi and Cameron when Naomi took on the Bellatrons. So we know why, because we're waiting for the Mark Henry thing. Mark Henry beat both Bortis and Tenzai easily. Sweet Tea, Albert, A-Train, Hip Hop Hippo, Prince Albert, whatever you want to call him. Crowley was chanting Albert. Were they chanting sexual chocolate? I hope they were. Anyway, he kind of beat him easily. And it kind of hinted, they kind of always spoiled that Sheamus was going to involve. If you, watch it back. After Mark Henry beat Tenzai in the tug-of-war match, as they were playing the Bortis Clay theme again, the spotlights were green and white, kind of hinting that Sheamus was going to come out, then it instantly went back to the red and white of Bortis Clay. I think it kind of already spoiled that Sheamus was going to involve. And he did. After Bortis lost the tug-of-war to Mark Henry, kind of a useless segment, but like I said, it did its purpose on building up Mark Henry and Sheamus' feud more, especially, like I said, after Mark Henry defeated Bortis. Here comes Sheamus saying, hey, I want to challenge you to a tug-of-war match. So that's what happened. Mark Henry was losing a bit, but he did get Sheamus almost over the line until Sheamus let go and then gave Mark Henry a pro kick for his helping. So you know Sheamus kind of lost the tug of war. He had the last word, or in this case, the last kick. And I'd say these two have some sort of match. If they have Randy Orton against Big Show at Extreme Wars and have a chairs match, I think Sheamus and Mark Henry should be just a straight up street fight for Extreme Wars if they would have a match at Extreme Wars, which is very likely. So that's my prediction. Orton and Big Show will fight Extreme Wars in a chairs match, and Sheamus will wrestle Mark Henry in a street fight because this is the Extreme Stipulation pay-per-view. So there you go. Now our next matchup, Alberto Del Rio. We saw the other two men in a triple threat match at Extreme Rules in action. Of course, Swagger winning and Ziggler winning. We'll see if Alberto will get the win over the now former United States champion Antonio Cesaro, who gets a rematch on Wednesday on the main event on Ion Television against Kofi. Now, Cesaro looked very well. By the way, speaking of Kofi, congrats to Kofi. They said on the air tonight, Kofi had his first child tonight with his wife or girlfriend. So congrats to Kofi on that. I don't know if he's married or not. He might be married. So that's why I'm saying wife or girlfriend. So congrats to Kofi and your baby. And despite the loss tonight against Ziggler, like I mentioned. Anyway, Cesaro looked really good in the match as well. You know, Cesaro, I like Cesaro. His wrestling style, his character. Especially, I think the yodeling thing is a bad thing for him. You know, the yodeling thing's bringing him down. Especially after losing the title. You know, Antonio's going downward spiral, and it proved again tonight. Despite Cesaro's great efforts to take down the former world champion and Alberto Del Rio, Alberto did nail Cesaro with some nasty kicks and did try to cause some bigger one time, but Cesaro got a good counter out of it. My favorite spot in the match was when Alberto was going for a high flying move, and Cesaro nailed him with a big uppercut in midair. I like when Cesaro nails those uppercuts. It's just nasty. Like a bullet off the top. Boom! Midair uppercut by Cesaro. So, despite Cesaro's great efforts to get the victory, of course, Ricardo didn't get involved, but Alberto did get the victory with the cross-arm breaker eventually after delivering one big nasty kick. And he didn't get him with a kick, but pinned him and Cesaro kicked out. That's what led towards the cross-arm breaker attempt again and 1-2 tap out for Alberto. And this is when Alberto did announce that the stipulation for the match would be a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, of course, Alberto's won ladder matches before. Of course, he is a former Money in the Bank ladder match winner. Well, basically, all three of the opponents in the triple threat match at the Extreme Rules they all won Money in the Bank. They've all won ladder matches. So this will be very interesting. It should be a decent matchup for being a TVPG pay-per-view. Should be a great ladder match between these three guys. Should be a great, exciting match. We had a tug of war tonight. Well, it's time for another silly segment, a dance-off with the Great Khali, with Natalya taking on Fandango. Is it getting old yet? But there were some people doing it. Not a lot, but I saw people doing it in Ohio more than they did the last time I was in America, 2 weeks ago in North Carolina, to sit on their hams. So it was the first American war in 2 weeks. Since they were in London last week, got a good reception with a lot of people doing the Fandango in London. Scaramouche, Ohio did the Fandango. By the way, fuck that sucks. Go blue. Anyway, I had to say that. Because kind of a silly segment, Khali danced, Khali won. I used to be a Dancing with the Stars fan before War became 3 hours, and Dancing with the Stars wasn't stupid results. So if I was Len Goodman, I would critique Khali's dance like, you were sloppy footwork. Your partner must have stopped. Khali didn't dance at all. You know, just pranced around like an idiot. You know, that's what kind of Fandango did as well, but Fandango at least attempted to dance. But the crowd, of course, cheered the face. Khali and Khali won, but as Khali was celebrating, Khali got chopped at the knee by Fandango, leading towards a Russian leg sweep, and then setting him up for his big finisher off the top rope, his big head scissors off the top. And he did it from like halfway across the ring. So that was a decent attempt for Fandango. Fandango sending a message to Jericho. Jericho wasn't there tonight. There's another match I think is going to happen with at Extreme Rules. It's Fandango and Jericho, especially if the Fandango's team, as we all know, costing Jericho a shot at making the triple threat for the world title, a fatal 4-way, losing to Ziggler after Fandango's music hit last week. So probably Fandango and Jericho will have a match. But we'll see if Fandango and Jericho brawl next week, if Jericho's even on Raw next week. Now on to our main event. Change from Ryback and Cena against the Shield. Ryback and Team Hell No against the Shield. The Team Hell No and John Cena taking on the Shield. Now, the same game plan as last week. It was kind of like almost like the exact same match with that happened last week on Raw with Shield against Team Hell No and Taker. There was a brawl to begin the fight, and the faces took advantage and really isolated the Shield in their corner for the first half of the match. And you can tell making Cena wrestle was a bad decision. Cena got in at first, and he nailed Ambrose with a kick with his bad foot. You can tell after he nailed that kick, he was hobbling. He was, feeling the pain, whether it's storyline or not. He was feeling the pain of that injury. And basically, he left it up to Kane and Daniel Bryan to do all the dirty work. Since Cena can't do anything because he's injured. He tried his best, but this proved that WWE making him wrestle was a bad decision. So as Kane Bryan was doing all the dirty work and isolating Shield in their corner, like what happened last week, Shield took advantage for the second half of the match, isolating Kane yet again in their corner for the second half of the match with double team moves and really dominating over Team Hell No and Cena for the second half of the match. And then Bryan got another tag in. And of course, Bryan got taken over, and Bryan tried to fight back. Then Bryan fought back and tagged in Kane. Kane got another hot tag. And he went outside, tossing Ambrose up to the floor. And he was ready to chokeslam Ambrose through a table as payback for what they did to Taker last week on SmackDown. But then Ambrose nailed him with a DDT. And Kane was taken out. Bryan was taken out. Cena was still hanging. So it may be like Cena was going to get another tag in. But Kane beat the count. They were counting Kane out. Kane got back in. Then Kane nailed Ambrose with a choke slam. And Kane had no other choice but to tag in Cena. He was the only guy available to tag since Bryan was laid out. So Cena nailed Ambrose with all the 5 moves of doom. Well, most of them. Nailing the 5-knuckle shuffle. It was ready to nail the FU on, Seth Rollins. After the 5-knuckle shuffle, Seth Rollins came to the top rope, tried to attack Cena. Cena catched him, and Cena was attempting to do the FU, but whether or not this was scripted or not, Cena's leg gave out, helping Reigns to spear the hell out of Cena as Cena was recovering from the stumble after attempting the FU attempt. And 1, 2, 3, the Shield is still undefeated. Wow. So as Shield was celebrating and Cena was being taken care of by the doctors, here comes Ryback, coming out to the ramp, watching Cena humble in pain. And that's how we end Raw, with Cena taken care of by the doctors and Ryback just watching Cena feel agony and pain. I say Ryback's in the Shield. I've said that a few weeks ago. Ryback may be a Shield member, but who knows? Well, Ryback, a.k.a. Skip Sheffield, was a member of the Nexus once. Who knows? Maybe, like I said, maybe he is a member of the Shield. Looks like it. Especially he's having Cena getting crap beat out of by the Shield. So, Cena wrestled injured, and he ended up getting hurt during the match. Whether it was storyline or not. Or WWE's way of trying to write him out by having him wrestle, but then having his knee game out. Like I said, as of right now, Cena is still scheduled to wrestle against Ryback. They did not mention anything about how long Cena is supposed to be out for, if he requires surgery or not, this injury, didn't say how intense the injury is, like how serious it was, if Cena needs to take time out in the ring, and whether or not Cena needs to forfeit the title. I really thought he was going to forfeit the title tonight, but no, they didn't. So who knows? Maybe they're going to make him finally forfeit the title next week. Who knows? But at least for right now, maybe WWE's going to put Cena in tag matches to save his knee, or make him take a few weeks off, and hoping this injury is not as serious as they thought, and hopefully that Cena can at least recover in time for Extreme Rules. So as right now, Cena is going to wrestle in Extreme Rules, but we'll see what happens between now and May 19th. So we got that match in jeopardy. May happen or not, Extreme Rules. We got the Triple Threat ladder match now for the World title with Alberto, Swagger, and Ziggler made tonight. Cage match, Triple H and Lesnar. We didn't see them tonight. Maybe we'll see them in the next couple of weeks. Possible matches for Extreme Rules. I predicted that Mark Henry may wrestle Sheamus in a street fight. Big Show and Randy Orton in a Chaos match, I predict. Or vice versa. Randy Orton, Big Show in a street fight. And Sheamus and Mark Henry in a Chaos match because of Extreme Rules and all. I also predict possibly Jericho and Fandango in a match. And maybe Caitlyn will defend the Divas Championship against AJ since AJ's #1 contender. We'll see what happens between now and Extreme Rules. That is it for my WWE Raw review for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you all later, everybody. Have a good night. Yeah.